All right guys, so I just got this box in from Babyliss. I actually already recorded opening it up, and I thought it was the FX3 all black set that I've been waiting on. I think they're gonna come any day, but it is not. And if you guys already saw the thumbnail, then you know what's in this box, but let's go ahead and throw it on the station, open it up, and check these things out. All right guys, so we have the Lithium FX clipper and trimmer. And if you guys watch my Instagram, I actually have had these already. Wasn't allowed to show them. These are coming out soon, so I guess now I'm allowed to show them. But they sent me another set. Everybody was asking about this trimmer, so I know you guys will be excited to see that. Let's go ahead and check out the clipper. We'll see what all is on the box. Go ahead and open it up, check it out. Then we'll move on to the trimmer. And of course, we'll test these things out in the end. All right, so you guys can see Babyliss Pro Lithium FX cordless lithium ergonomic clipper. Here is a picture on the side, Babyliss Pro Lithium FX again. Babyliss Pro Lithium FX cordless lithium ergonomic clipper. Gold titanium wedge blade. So you guys have seen the wedge blade on something before. I guess it was the low pros. We have the 5 to 10 taper control arm, now extends up to 4.2 millimeters. So I think something everybody likes about these is they do open up a little bit further, and you know a lot of barbers just go crazy for that. Long life ball bearing, DC motor, 6,800 RPMs, ergonomic grip housing, new on-off switch, lithium ion battery with 2 hours of runtime, LED low battery indicator, and new universal charging cord. So I guess it takes the regular Babyliss cord instead of probably the original cord. I think it was kind of like the Slimline, just a regular DC plug-in. So now it will work with the rest of our cords. But yeah, guys, you may have seen this on the channel a little while back. This is the new and improved version. There was a few complaints. The power switch was a little bit low, I believe, and it was kind of hard to reach. They did change a few things on this, including that charging cord. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box. We'll see what comes in here, and then we'll check out the clipper. All right guys, so in the bottom we have the blade cover. We have some regular Babyliss guards. These are not the premiums, they're just the plastic snap-ons. And there's our 1/2 and 1.5. Regular Babyliss charging cord. I got about 100 of these laying around at this point. Clipper brush, and we have our manual with a Babyliss sticker. So there you go guys, Babyliss Pro Lithium FX. You can see the gold plate on the front, a little bit of a honeycomb texture here. A little bit smaller it feels like than the original. It's been a long time since I had it, but I remember it was really wide here. So I think they slimmed it down a little bit. It was a little bit more of like a football shape before. You guys can see the power switches here now. So think about if we're using it, power switches right here. I think it used to be like way down here and it was a little bit difficult to reach. So we do have the click lever guys. Not my favorite, but you know, I've gotten used to using it, and you guys can see we got a big wide range here. There's our open section. Pretty open for just out the box. So there is our wedge blade. You guys can see this kind of beveled, I don't know what to even call this, these diagonal lines going through it. That is our wedge blade. Traditionally, guys, I haven't loved the wedge blade. I usually swap it out for a taper blade. But of course, in this video, we're gonna use it straight out of the box. So we will leave it as is and test it out. But that's it, guys. Like I said, I have used this before. I actually have another one. Go ahead and compare it. Just make sure that it is the same. Yeah, it's the same. So I've actually had this other set for a while, and I wasn't allowed to show it, especially this guy, but we are gonna go ahead and unbox the trimmer next, and you guys can check it out. All right guys, so here is the trimmer again, Babyliss Lithium FX. We'll kind of go through this stuff, says all the same stuff. Just trimmer right there instead of clipper, same picture. Now on the back, guys, gold titanium T-blade with 360-degree view. That is obviously the skeleton, guys, and this is the gold FX blade. New long life bearing DC motor, 6,800 RPMs again. Ergonomic grip housing, over 4 hours of runtime. That's pretty serious. LED low battery indicator, 30-minute quick charge. So that's pretty solid for you guys. I know a lot of you guys worry about battery life. Standard FX cord again, guys, instead of the, I don't even know what to call it, guys. It's just a round circle. But anyway, that is it for the box. Let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. So, of course, guys, we have another charging cord, another blade setter, blade cover, clipper brush, cam follower for it if it gets loud, and another manual and sticker. All right guys, so this is it, the Babyliss Pro Lithium FX Trimmer. This thing is super small, guys, maybe even smaller than the low pro, just a little bit skinnier and more low profile, I guess. But nice and small and compact. You guys can see same look as the clipper with the gold honeycomb. Power switch again. We do have the Babyliss cord at the bottom instead of the single DC cord. Go ahead and check out the back, guys. This is the original FX blade. That is gonna be the best thing about this. It is not the DLC 2.0. It is not the Deep Tooth or any of the other blades that they make for these. It is the OG Gold FX blade. So if you guys can see right here, FX707Z is the original blade. So if it's Z2, guys, it's gonna be the 2.0. There's some other numbers and combinations there that I don't really know, but you want the FX707Z, or if you guys want the graphite one that I use, it is the 707B. But there it is, guys. It is pretty gapped coming out of the box. Kind of excited to use this thing. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't even use the other one really because I couldn't record anything with it and I couldn't put it out. So now we got the combo here that we're allowed to put out, and I can can show you guys. So we're gonna test these things out. I'm kind of excited to see especially what this trimmer is about to do. All right guys, Philip is back. We're gonna go ahead and test these lithiums out. I wanna leave this weight. He really likes this weight on this area, so we cut the top a little bit. I'm gonna come in, I'm actually gonna start with a 6 and try to feed into this to leave as much as possible. So you guys know one of my first tests is taking a large guard and blending into the top. And I just like to see how that will feed into the hair on top. It makes the haircut a lot easier when you don't have to do a lot of work on this ridge to clean it up. So this is a number 6. I'm just coming in straight up off the side. Again, like I said, he likes the weight, so we don't really want to cut it off too much. That's why I started with a 6 and not, you know, let's say like a 4. The 6 is safe. It is all the way closed. We're just going up into that top to cut it down, and then we will come in and start the ball fade on the sides. All right guys, so we got that cut down. I'm gonna go ahead and put this line in. And guys, these trimmers are what I'm really excited about. This is the actual original FX blade. So this, we talked about it when I unboxed it. This is not a DLC, this is not a 2.0 or any of those deep tooth, whatever all those blades are. This is actually the Gold FX blade that everybody loved so much when it came out. And you guys can see, absolutely no problem cutting that in. And we're cutting through a lot of hair here. I mean, this is like a, well, what we just used, a 6. So we're cutting through a 6 at least, and it's cutting right through it, giving us a nice clean edge. Go ahead and try to get this top edge looking good, and then we will flip the trimmer and cut the bottom edge until we're happy with the line, and then we can start the rest of the fade. And I'll come in and flip it, and we're gonna make it a little bit fatter at the front, and it's gonna get skinnier in the back. So I'm just going over really the line that we already cut, but when you cut it the other way, it just doesn't cut this side of the line as clean. That's why you have to flip the trimmer and come in and basically push it against this bottom line. You guys can see, nice and easy. And those trimmers are so sharp, guys. I'm gonna start with my closed clipper and ball this out, and then we'll come in underneath that with the trimmer. So I don't want to punch it in with the Gold FX blade just because, you know, traditionally it's so sharp. So we'll just use the close clipper. It is pretty close, not quite as close as the trimmer is going to be, but close enough. And then once we get that line kind of started, we'll come in with the trimmer and ball it out. And then I got a new shaver to show you guys. I'll give you a little sneak preview on a video coming soon. Now I'll come in with the trimmer underneath, go ahead and cut it all the way down, and you guys can see these skeletons, especially with the Gold FX blades, super bald. And these are straight out of the box, so I didn't even adjust them. I get a lot of questions about, you know, what trimmer can people buy that comes 0 gapped? I'll go ahead and tell you guys, nothing really comes 0 gapped. I mean, you could get lucky and get one that's set pretty close, but most of the time it's gonna come just, you know, just a good gap. And then, you know, you guys, I have tons of videos on 0 gapping, different trimmers. I have plenty of different trimmers. And then with that being said, most of those techniques can be applied to any trimmer that you have. So, all right guys, so this is the new UV shaver from Babyliss. You put the lid on, the blue light comes on, and it will clean and sanitize the shaver head. So I'm not gonna show you guys the whole thing, but we are gonna start on the sideburn. And guys, I will tell you, this thing is a beast. You guys make sure you're subscribed. I'm gonna drop the unboxing on this probably within the next week or so. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this whole panel underneath down to a 1.5. If you guys haven't seen any of my unboxings, guys, I've done this haircut on Philip 3 or 4 times now to test out different tools and kind of have a baseline. So, you know, let's say the last cut I did turned out a certain way, and I can compare to these new clippers. So we're gonna come in with the lever all the way open, go up probably about half, almost half of this section, a little over a 1/2 inch, set in our open guideline. And you guys remember we punched the line in at the bottom, or we didn't punch it in, I guess we scooped it in with this clipper. So we will not have to use it closed at the bottom. Just go ahead and set our open section, and then we can come in and start to take the line out. I don't know if you guys can hear these things, but they're super quiet. Not much of a crunch sound, honestly. I like a little more of a crunch sound than that, but it is super quiet, and I can still hear it cutting a little bit, but they are cutting this down no problem. You can see he has a lot of inconsistencies in that open section, so we're gonna have to spend a little time to clean that up. Now we'll go ahead and start on the second notch since we put the line in with the clipper all the way closed. Start on the second notch, we'll start to work that line out. You know, we may still see something. Maybe I came up a little higher with the trimmer, and I may have to come back with the clipper closed and get a little line out, but we're gonna start with it on the second notch, and then we'll bump it up and work our way up. So I can even see right here, it's a little bit of a line there that didn't come out, so I probably got it with my trimmer. So I'll just go to clipper closed, back to the second notch, bump it up. And because this is such a small area right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and finalize this part in front of the ear, and then we can finish everything behind the ear. So that was the second. Now we'll go to the third, continue to work our way down back until we get this panel where we want it. So that was the second, and now to the first. And I may even have to come in with the trimmer. There's still a little bit of a line there. We can come in with the trimmer. and just bump that out real quick. And then we can move on to behind the ear. So now back here, we'll go ahead, because I know what the front acted like, I'm gonna go ahead with my clipper closed and just make sure that I'm able to get that line out from the trimmer. Then we just bump it up. So clipper closed, go ahead to the second notch. You guys can see he's got some dark spots and light spots. And so what I'm gonna do is go through my steps. I'm not gonna spend too much time. And then once we get the next section finished, we can come in and fine tune in detail. So now we're gonna take our 1 right into the 1.5, go ahead and blend into the 1.5, and then we will start to work our way down, connect everything together, and we will detail as we come down. So if I cut this down to a 1, that's okay. I just wanted to get that bulk out of the way. And again, I've cut him a few times with the same haircut and ended up basically cutting it down to a 1. So now 1 closed, we'll go right above where the open line is and right under where we just did the open 1. And we'll work our way all the way through this back section. Now I can just play with the lever and clean it up. So I see it's like super dark right here. I'm gonna go halfway open. I'm just looking for consistency. So halfway open, then closed. We're just kind of trying to tackle these dark spots and get it looking consistent. So now we'll come in with the half guard and clean up some of this in between. That's kind of where the half guard is good. It's kind of that perfect length in between. Not even kinda, it is the length in between the open section and the closed one. So that's where we're gonna wanna use it, and that's gonna kind of clean up everything that we see here in between. So again, guys, play it safe. We'll start with it half open. Anything that it doesn't get, we can close it up. You guys see this indentation here is still pretty ugly. I'll go to the second slot. We'll just keep tackling it until it's looking how we want. So I don't know if it's the wedge blade that's just making it a little different. Also, guys, you know, this opens to, I think it said 4.2 millimeters, which is a whole millimeter longer than your traditional taper blade. And so that may be making a little difference with the guards too. So say I close 1 guard, it's gonna be different than our standard close 1 guard on my other clippers. Just kind of have to adjust as you're cutting until you figure it out. Definitely a little different feeling with that wedge blade, and then them, you know, making this open up a little further than it traditionally does. You guys can see this is so dark up here. I'm all the way up here with the open clipper, and it still looks consistent with the rest of the haircut. So again, cutting the color, I'm just working my way through, start all the way open, close it up. Now we're halfway open. I'm just working on these dark spots. You guys can see this section back here just looks kind of crazy. So just a little more work, and I think that's really coming from not being comfortable with this blade. Obviously, if I cut a whole lot with it, it'd be a little bit better, but we're getting it together. All right, guys, I'm gonna blend this beard in real quick. We'll go ahead and line it up. That was enough on that side. I'm not gonna include the whole other side just because we've already spent like 10 minutes on the one side. So I'm gonna blend this beard in. We're gonna go ahead and line it up, line up his C-cup so you guys can see the trimmer. And I think that'll be it for the video. All right, I'm gonna line up the C-cup, taking off as little as possible. This hair's a little bit light right here, so you guys may not even be able to really see it, but just know that this FX blade is doing it, no problem. You'll definitely be able to see it when we get to the beard. We'll see if this thing will feed into the beard and cut down all that length and kind of let us shape it and line it at the same time. And again, these are things I look for when I'm trying to find the best trimmer or to see if a new trimmer is any good. I wanna see how well it will line up. Obviously, how well it will bald out, obviously. I got some flack the other day, somebody saying that we shouldn't be looking at how trimmers bald out because they're not made for that or how they cut bulk. But, you know, a lot of barbers, that's how we use them. So that's why I show you that in the video, how well it will bald out, how well it will cut through bulk. You know, that's how I do it. I use trimmers to bald out with most of the time. So I'm gonna show you guys that in my videos. All right, guys, so the goal here is just to shape the bottom, not take a ton off, and line it up on his neck. He's got a little flip out here at the bottom. So right now we're just getting the bulk. We're not looking for a super sharp line. And once the hair is out of the way, now you guys can see, come right in and punch that line in. It's doing pretty good. I haven't used the standard Gold FX blade in a while, but you guys can see, nice sharp beard line at the bottom. It was able to cut through all that hair. The back part of the beard is fine as well. They're doing the job we were looking for. I don't know if you can hear them crunching, but they are crunching. I guess I was just showing Philip. Basically, guys, we just figured out the difference. This opening all the way up to 4.2. Basically, guys, the way that I teach, an open clipper is 3. The half guard, half open I use is 4.5. And so this is going all the way to 4.2, which makes every notch in between a much bigger gap than normal. So some of these spots that we saw, the gap in between here was so big that I couldn't actually get it with the click. So a little bit different. I pulled out the boosted with the adjustable lever, went right in and got it out. But that is a big difference. Obviously, if you guys adjust to that, you could cut with this just fine, but definitely a huge difference from my system and how I cut. But guys, these clippers and trimmers are made to be a budget Babyliss clipper. Definitely the cheapest version of a Babyliss Babyliss clipper for you guys. These are definitely more affordable than your FXs or your low pros or anything like that. So this is definitely your beginner budget-friendly clipper and trimmer set. Trimmer, absolutely amazing. This is a little bit different than what I use, but it's still cut fine. It just was a little bit different than my system. You guys know I use the same system every time, so that's kind of what changed. But if you guys want to check them out, head to babylisspro.com. You guys use code Seancutshair and you guys can save 10% on these, which would be probably 25 bucks off of the bundle. So not a bad deal. If you guys liked it, smash that thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this haircut on Philip. I did have to touch those spots up a little bit with the boosted, but it turned out all right. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I got the TPOB candies coming next. I just got a barber chair. I got half of it in and sitting right here. Free barber chair we're gonna check out and show you guys here soon. So appreciate you guys watching this. Catch you next time.